And we're live. All right, now what was you saying about my shirt?
This shirt you got on that says Jesus Mama is a side piece in the
Right.
church.
What about it?
Jesus Mama is a side piece shirt on. I just thought I'd never seen anything like that before.
You never thought? Well, you see, this is from the exclusive Corey Holcomb 5150 store that I got when he was in St. Louis, you dig? I think it's pretty funny, although it's offensive to some, but that's okay. Who cares?
Hey, freedom of speech, baby.
Yeah.
But it's like
I just think it's
Charlemagne.
hilarious that you sitting in the church with a Jesus Mama.
Nigga, it's like Charlemagne say, he like, you know, you have freedom of speech. He says, but you got to be willing to deal with the consequences. So am I going to deal with the consequences behind my speech? Hell yeah, I will, because I got to stand on my shit, nigga.
That's accurate. That's like choices. Whatever you choose, you have to deal with the consequences. Of
Everybody got choices. That's right. But welcome everybody to the latest episode of the Socially Conscious St. Louis podcast. This is the podcast for the people who are ready to deal with the consequences of their words and not give a flying fuck what you think about it. I'm King David. I'm your host. I'm in here with author R. Quarles. What's up, Becky?
Nothing much.
That's what's up. That's what's up. And we have our special guest for today, fellow 5150 chat room goon, brother Yannick Mccook, everybody.
How you doing?
Man, what's
up?
on? This brother got the Miami sunshine in the background.
So jealous,
so
right?
He over here shitting on us, y'all.
I don't like it right now. He like it's 85 degrees. I'm like, man,
Man,
it's 40
how long
outside.
the 36
40.
degrees and some snow flurries? Yeah.
I can't see. It's too bright.
Man,
Oh,
see you got your
really?
Stevie Wonder shades on. They got them Ray Charles just.
All right. Man. That sounds
Crazy.
lovely out there.
Man, it is. It is.
It's hot.
Right. I bet. So how you doing today, Yannick? Is it Yannick or Yannick?
It's Yannick, but I don't, it don't bother me.
Yannick it is.
Whatever.
How you doing today, Yannick?
I guess
doing
it's what
good,
I'm saying,
man.
but people don't say it right no way.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't waste time correcting people all day,
Man. I used to be having that with my last name. They'd be like, my last
Really?
name is Landrum. It's like land and rum, and you put it together, it's Landrum. It's pretty easy.
Right.
They'd be like, Landrum, Landrums, land and rum.
I don't even think it mattered at this point. Before I got married, my last name was Loving, and people still didn't say it right. I was Levette, Levert.
Levert?
It's just whatever they wanted to come up with. It don't even matter.
You related to Eddie
That
Levert?
sounds like an old black woman would call you Levert.
Hoping he was my uncle.
Miss Levert.
That's crazy. That's crazy. But anyways, so while we got you here, bro, I know your time is limited. What's the deal with real estate? What's the difference between renting, leasing, and owning? Is it a good thing? And are there benefits to getting into real estate? Yannick,
Take me some notes on this.
please start us
I
off.
heard a lot about this subject.
All right, so right now, my wife and I, we're married for a year, and, we've been taking the right steps, So I said, honey, let's buy a house in a nice neighborhood that's up and coming. So we're in the process of building our own home right now. So,
That's smart.
they have these developers, let's say developer A, they buy a patch of land, a big patch of land, and then they slice it up into different lots. You buy your lot, and they have house models that you can choose from. All right, I want my house to look like this. So the outside of your house is going to look like Model A. It's going to be on lot number 1 on this patch of land, right?
Right.
So that's where we're at. So when you buy the house, it's basically 4 walls and some toilets. You got to customize the heck out of that shit, right? So that's a good thing and a bad thing, because then you realize, all right, the house costing me $270,000, but I gotta put like $30,000 worth of upgrades just for it to look like a regular ass house, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's fine. We end up around 300. So that's cool, But it's in a good neighborhood, so we expect property value to go up. Now, to answer your question, difference between renting, leasing, and owning. To be honest with you, I didn't know there was a difference between renting and leasing, so I can't really speak on that, because we just came out of an apartment that we had a lease on, but we were renting it, so I can't really specify the difference between those two. But owning is a whole other ballgame, man. Whatever you do to your house, that's increasing property value. When you're ready to sell, let's say you fix up your kitchen. Everybody does that, right? You watch TV, everybody does that.
Everybody.
Redo their kitchen. Yeah.
It's one of the major selling points of every house.
Exactly.
Kitchen, closets, and bathroom.
Yep.
What's that?
She said kitchen, closets, and bathrooms are the selling points of the house.
There you go. So everything you do. We were on Facebook, and this dude was saying, man, buying a house is like not a good idea. It's like a money pit, whatever. And I'm like, it depends where. What you said?
I said, I've heard that.
Yeah. But I mean, it depends where you buy the house. Like, what's the situation in the neighborhood? Did you buy it in the woods? I mean, yeah, that's a money pit right there. You're just going to be upgrading stuff. Like, all right, as time goes by, your roof is going to need to be replaced. Your plumbing, one of your trees might, the roots might grow into the pipe underneath the house and cause an issue. You got to dig up the pipe and change it. Yeah, stuff's going to happen because you got a mortgage for 30 years. Stuff is going to happen. But if you buy it in a neighborhood that is increasing in value, then it don't matter what you put in there because the price of the house is going up too. So let's say you spend $20,000 this year on the house, but your equity, but the price of the house went up $30,000 this year. You still made $10,000.
Yeah.
Now let's say you rented, and you ain't seen that $40,000 increase in house prices that you would if you owned your home. You're just sitting there paying somebody else's mortgage.
And not making no money off of it.
You ain't making no money. It's like renting, but it's also like you're making money too. You live in where you basically renting, but it's yours. And when you're done with that house, you made a profit.
Like basically, you can purchase it. And I think it's a good idea what you guys are doing because it's an up-and-coming neighborhood. So when you're in an up-and-coming neighborhood, that means that they're going to keep building. They're going to build stores. They're going to build things that are more convenient, et cetera, et cetera. And then say if you stay in a house 6-7 years, by the time you look around 6-7 years, the property value went from $300,000 to $500,000-$700,000. So by the time you move, you not only get the money that you invested into the house, but you also get a return on the investment as well, as far as like getting extra money. Now my question is, when you purchase the home, are you purchasing just the home or the land that comes with that the home is built on?
We got there and we spoke with the developer A. That's what I'm calling them. Developer A. We said, hey, we want to buy a house in this neighborhood. It's where we want it to be. It's like I'm looking at dirt right now, but I'm buying this patch of dirt. Developer A.
Okay, so you are buying the land. Okay.
Yes.
So you are buying the land. Okay.
Yes.
Developer I always wondered that. I said I always wondered that.
Yeah, you buy a lot of land first, you pick it out. And I mean, even with like woods, it's people who'd be like, okay, well, the town is coming like southwest and they'll move out in the middle of nowhere And it might be 15, 20 years for it move out there, but you done bought like a whole bunch of land for like extra cheap out in the middle of nowhere. And then 20 years, now you got Walmart, you got Kroger's, you got everything in the neighborhood. So that's the time. I've seen people will sell their land doing it like that. They won't even like buy property or land in like a city environment. They'll go way out in the boonies in the country and buy property. Either if it might be for vacation, it might just be for vacation purposes, or some of them they'll just hold on to it and just maintain it until society starts to move over to them, you know, acres and acres of land that they got. Now they sell it for an exuberant amount of price, and they just move on to the next thing. So I have seen people do it like that too.
Exactly. Now, imagine if me and my wife have 3 kids and I buy a patch of dirt somewhere in the woods out there in Florida, in South Florida. South Florida is basically like Miami, right? Everybody wants to come here. People come here from all over the world. But there are places that aren't developed yet. I mean, it's way out there. So in 15, like you're saying, in 15, 20 years, yeah, it's going to mean something. But right now, I just have a patch of dirt that I bought for cheap. And I put it down and I say, hey, my kid's going to inherit this. I'm going to cut this up and I got 3 kids. I'm going to split this in 3 ways. And you own this much of land, you own that much, da-da-da. I might not see a return in my lifetime, but my kids, they own a piece of this earth. And at some point, we already overpopulated down here, right? At some point, that piece of earth is going to be worth 10, maybe 15 times what it's worth now, because now they're ready to develop. But what I was saying about developer A, they had a promotion. Well, not a promotion. They all have this, where they're like, they call it a zero lot. Usually a lot's around, depending on how the size, the location of the lot. Like, let's say the lot's right next to the lake, or the lot's right next to the playground, or right next to the pool, for the community pool or something. It might be worth a little bit more. It might be 4,000, might be 5,000. You know, you're buying the dirt you buying that piece of earth for a certain amount of money. But they had a zero lot. So we said, how many zero lots you got left? They're like, we got that little patch right there. It's about 5 of them. Which one you want? I said, give me lot number 25, right? $0 for that lot. I got it for $0, but that piece of land is actually worth $15,000 to $20,000. That was basically a promotion. It's in a not so desired area of the neighborhood, so they say let's make it 0 so people will build on it, you know. But next year, my house is not going to only worth $300,000. It's going to be worth $300,000 plus the price of the lot that I ain't paying nothing for.
Right.
That's crazy.
I
So
think
you
what
already
people don't
up.
realize is people don't realize is you're not only paying for, and that's even when you're renting or leasing. You not only, well, not even renting or leasing, but kind of sort of. When you buying a home, you're not only paying for the house, especially if you live in an up and coming area and it's not quite built yet. It's a little bit easier, I would think, to purchase in a place that's up and coming like you guys did versus paying for a home that's in an area that's already established, because you're not only paying for the home, but you're paying for the area, you're paying for the convenience in the area as far as like the stores, which you have accessibility to and things like that. My other question is, when you purchase a home, say the home is already built and the land is there, the home is built and all that. When you purchase that home, is the cost of the land rolled into that, or is that a separate purchase?
That's a good question. I didn't look into that one.
Okay.
I didn't look into that.
But do some research on that Socially Stateless podcast. Get back to you guys next week.
Yeah.
Righteous.
That's a good one. But I tell you what, though. The reason why I knew that the land that we got for $0 is worth around 20 grand or whatever is because I went to, this is in Orlando, which is either Orange County or Orlando County. I don't remember. I don't live up in Central Florida, so I don't know what the county is yet, but I went to the county website and I went to the appraiser's office, right? You know, that's just a web page on a website where they do the appraisal. And I put in our new address, what's going to be. And it said, the house isn't built yet, right? It says, appraisal for 2017, $0 plus 20 grand. So they split it up in the price of the house, like the brick and mortar, and the price of the land. Now, when it's time to sell in 15, 20 years, I don't know what people going to sell it for. Because if you ever watch HGTV or all of them house networks or whatever, they'll be like, hey, you know, I want to sell my house for $200,000. And then the realtor will be like, all right, let me look at the comps, which is, let me look at what everybody else around here is selling for. And then I'll come back to you. So you could be here like, yo, my house is worth $500,000. But if the property value in the neighborhood around you went down and everybody's like selling for $450,000, you can't, unless you got a nice house where it's worth another $50,000. When people come to buy from you, they're gonna be like, I mean, this is nice and everything, but the house next door is $450,000. Like, I'd rather just buy that. So that's why you have houses sitting on the market, because people don't put more into the house than what everywhere around you is looking like. Now, if everywhere around you is a one-story house and you have a two-story house, then you're justified in saying, okay, it's another $50,000 or $70,000. But if you look at exactly like everybody else, then you got to go with the trend, because that's what they're gonna do.
That's real. I feel that, man. That's crazy. You know what? I'm not anti-mortgage by any means. I'm like, okay, maybe it's just our city. Well, my city, Rebecca's no longer in St. Louis, but St. Louis has a huge market of what we call VACOs, vacant houses. There's a huge market for vacant houses. You can find a house for like $2,000 or $3,000. You can even find a storefront, and I know we was talking about this on the 5150 group. Like, you know, you can buy a storefront for $6 grand with upstairs apartments, and for less than $100,000, depending on the shape of the building. And I'm just using $100,000 as just a ballpark figure. You know, me, I would do majority of the work myself between me and the people that I know. But I mean, for those who are not as handy capable as I, you know, depending on the shape of the building, I mean, obviously you want to pick out a building that's structurally sound. That's important. You know, you want to check the brick and mortar, you want to check the foundation, you want to check the roof. Then once you check those, you can find a lot of nice properties, especially in the inner city of St. Louis, for the low. And for a little bit of time and effort, you can get you a nice house for way less than what you paid for a mortgage house. Now, trust me, my mom has a beautiful house that I grew up in. She pays a mortgage. My father had a house, he paid a mortgage. But I mean, I think especially for us as like African Americans or Africans or whatever, African diaspora, I feel the way is to flip your money, flip your houses. That way you don't need as big of an investment. You could just get in there. And for the most part, if you put in a little bit of sweat equity, like you see the white folks do on HDTV, you can save yourself a gang of money. That's just the way I feel. Like, I feel like I can get a house for $2,000 or $3,000 and invest less than 20 in it, then I have a house that currently might be worth lower than what it is, but knowing the market in St. Louis and how they're trying to gentrify certain areas, you know, they're like our downtown area. 10 to 15 years ago, our downtown area was, how we put this, Becky? It looked like a scene out of, what was that movie with Denzel? He played Homeboy. American Gangster. It looked like a scene out of American Gangster.
Oh, you talking about where he was selling the coke?
Yeah, he was selling the heroin. That's what our downtown looked like. It reflected that movie. So 10, 15 years ago, you would not catch a white person downtown after dark. And it still had like all of the businesses and the sports arenas downtown. But, you know, after like 6 o'clock, if there was like no sports games or anything going on, you would not catch a white person
right back
downtown.
to West County. West County, town and country.
Now downtown has been gentrified. So
I heard.
yeah, downtown has been gentrified. So it's just like they got the NGC going up there on Cass and Jefferson, the JVL. The NGC is some big government organization that's coming in and has developed a whole bunch of land. So if you've seen the trend, they're coming back north. So it's just like you say, if you can buy a house in that area and you know that this big government corporation is getting ready to come here and fast, you know how government organizations build. Like they throw the whole fucking budget to get something built. It's not going to be like 5-10 years. It's going to be like 2 years. And then they're going to develop all the land around that. So especially in St. Louis, I feel like that is for some of us. I think that is the best effort. And then through there, you can put other people on. You know, you can be like, hey, you can call up some young men and some young women, be like, hey, I'm going to pay you $12 an hour to clean out this house. Like, you don't need a contractor to clean out the house. That's something that you could do. You could pay somebody to do that. So in that, you can start putting more money into the hands of African Americans. I mean, besides contractors, but it's kind of hard to find black contractors who are about their business. In St. Louis, anyway. In St. Louis.
Yeah, it's everywhere, man.
I mean, anything's better than renting, though. Anything's better than renting. Because renting is you throwing your money down the tube. Now, my situation, I rent from a black couple. But long-term, renting does not benefit the renter long-term. It benefits the owner.
If you rent, you can if you fix your credit to where it need to be, and if you make enough and you have your debt low enough, that's something I want to talk about too. The qualifications that we had, the hoops we still jumping through to get this house, right? You know they're gonna make it a little harder for us, but anyway, you know we ain't gonna say all that, right?
Right. We know what it is. We know.
You know, we ain't got to say that, but yeah, if you get your credit right and you get a low enough APR, you know, annual percentage rate, for the next 30 years, for your first house, you're already winning. Because guess what? You could probably pay what you're paying for rent right now to live in your own house.
That's true too. That's definitely true.
But you know, we don't teach our young about financial literacy and credit and all that. Like, you know, my father, he did a good enough job preparing me for the world, but once I hit 18, man, and credit cards started coming in the mail, I'm like, man, let me get one of these, right? I get one. I mean, it was only like $300, but man, I was struggling to pay that off. I'm like, damn, you know?
Right.
But if I had known what I know now, I just paid that off, because you can literally pay off your credit card every month. Use it to buy groceries. The same money you would have spent at a grocery store, just pay the credit card. Put it on the credit card.
Yep.
And you always at zero balance, because instead of, you at the grocery store, instead of using the debit card, you swipe the credit card, and then later on in the night, you just make a payment on your credit card for the same amount.
That's real. That's real. I'll tell you another thing that you could do. Once you pay off your house, you get to a point where your house is paid for. I mean, I've seen guys who work 3 jobs just to pay off their house in like 6 years. for a 30-year mortgage. Another thing that you could do, you can take the equity out of your house and use that to invest in something else.
Oh yeah, my mom's boyfriend, he was telling me he had 6 houses in New York City, right? But he lost them to his ex-wife. He admits that was on him. Like he said, man, I'd be so set right now, but that was on me just being in love, being stupid, and letting her take advantage of me. But anyway, he lost about 6 houses to his ex-wife. He was telling me the game, bro. He was like, look, you buying your first house, they're gonna get you on the first house. That mortgage is gonna stay where it's at because you haven't proven to them that you can pay a mortgage consistently for how many years or whatever. But once you hit 1 year of paying your mortgage on time, and them other mortgage companies see that you are trustworthy that way, like money-wise, and hey, this guy, he's been paying, let's say $2,000 a month for the whole year. He owns his home. He's married. Man, let's say I want to buy another house. Bam, I take the equity out of this house, whatever it is, 10, 15,000, whatever amount the house increased that year. Let's say I start off at 300,000. Let's say next year the house is worth 320,000. Bam, I refinance the house. I take a home equity loan out of it. The equity would be the what did I say, 320? 20 grand. Bam, I take the 20 grand. Let's say now I don't qualify for a first-time homeowner's loan, a FHA loan, federal. I think it's federal housing, but it's like a first-time homeowner
something or another.
Something.
Yeah.
So I don't qualify for that anymore. Now I qualify for a conventional loan because it's my second house, right? Now the first-time homeowner's loan is you got to drop 3.5% of the cost of the house as a down payment. The conventional, you got to drop 5%, right? I believe those are the figures, right? So it's like a little bit more. It's like maybe like almost twice as much. But when you talk about 300,000, that's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? No, let's say that 20 grand is enough to put a down payment. 5% of the next house I'm gonna buy. I'm not gonna buy a house to live in. I'm gonna buy a house to rent out.
Exactly.
Or I buy an apartment complex, or I buy a condo, something that I can put somebody in and they paying my mortgage.
That's
right. You see, when you renting, you paying somebody else's mortgage. And a lot of times that person don't look like us.
That's real. Now, condos you got to be careful about, because condos is just like buying a house. Although it's a little bit worse because your condo is subject to what your condo association looks like. I know condos right now that because of what the poor choices and decisions that the association has made, this condos, which was nice 30 years ago, looks like a complete shit pile. So now they have to bring in a property manager so he could try to straighten them people out so get the property value back up. Like they can't even pay a lawn service to cut their grass once a week.
Well, they misappropriating funds?
I'm not sure. It's not my condo. It's just a friend of mine, and then the gentleman who is the property manager for that property I'm associated with. So there might have been some misappropriation of funds. I think that there were people who just moved out, didn't sell it, didn't do nothing to it, just skipped town. You can't find them. And then there's people who haven't paid their association fees for like years. So it's this whole thing where, being in a condo is cool if you're with like-minded individuals. If you and myself and Rebecca and, a few others like-minded individuals are sharing in this complex and we're paying our association fees, we're coming to meeting, everything is getting done the way it's supposed to be, then whether you live it, whether you rent it, or whether you sell your condo, you can get more money out of it if your neighbors are doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
Now, what's up, Becky?
Oh, nothing. I was agreeing.
All right, so now, Dave, if you remember in our little group chat there, 5150 group, there was this guy saying, basically he was saying, you know, where he lives, it ain't worth it. And I was like, look, man, if you watch TV, because trust me, my wife, ever since we put that down payment on the house, my wife been watching these TV shows about fixing up your kitchen and all that stuff. So
Right.
I'm watching all these people going to U.S. Virgin Islands or Jamaica or places that tourists would want to go and buying houses for like the same price we got houses here. And I'm like, okay, so that's an option that I ain't even think about, right?
I hadn't thought about it, but that's real though.
Yeah. Now, I've never been to St. Louis, but I know what it's like down here, right? If you buy a condo in the hood, there's so many people coming here, there's so much traffic down here that it might be going down right now, but they're going to gentrify it at some point. Or if you buy a condo around here and let's say it's close enough to the beach, they're going to take care of that one, right? Because they can rent that year round to people. If it's close enough to the beach. Florida is a strip of land that there's just straight beach the whole way down on the right, and then all the way on the other side of Florida there's beach all the way down on the left. So if you buy something close enough to the beach, it's gonna cost you, but you can always rent that out. Always.
That's real. Most definitely. I'll say now another thing in St. Louis that we have, and this requires more capital, but we have a lot of like schools that have been closed in the inner cities.
Yeah.
So you can do one of two things, and I think we should actually do both things. Revitalize the schools. There are places who revitalize the school and turn them into like lofts or turn them into apartments and then rent them out.
Oh, I thought you was going to say Umar.
No, not Umar. Speaking thus, given our current situation in the 5150 group, defending negative behaviors, I believe Brother Yannick has something he wanted to say about Sydney. Sydney is Monique and Sydney put. It's like Brangela and Billary Clinton, you know, Billary. So speak on.
Is that the husband?
Yeah, Sydney. His name's Sydney. Her name's Monique. So you just put the Sid and the Neek together. You put a little glue on it. Sydney. All right, cool. Go.
This is what I got to say about any prominent black man who comes on TV crying like a woman. You have let all of us down, sir. That's the first thing I got to say.
Who did that? You ain't talking about Monique's husband, are you?
Yeah, City on the
What?
side of the game. What more do you?
I thought he was talking about Steve Harvey. For a second. He's like, yeah, when you a grown man and you get on TV and cry. I'm like, oh, well, how do you get on Steve Harvey? Just
Crying.
go. You good. Go ahead.
That's the first thing I want to say. Like, I can't even look at Tyrese the same way. But you know, anyway, we're gonna leave that alone. The man was on medication, guys.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
Oh my
He was
God.
on that bullshit, right? So
Really?
But Monique. All right. Let me say this the right way, right? Monique is talented, but she should not be comparing herself to Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock, in my opinion. Right?
Thank you.
Feels like...
Ladies and gentlemen, we can leave this shit. Yannick has put a stamp on it. Monique is full of shit. Go.
That sentence where she said, Dave Chappelle making this, Chris Rock's making this, so why is Monique making this? That should never have left her mouth, in my opinion. Monique had a good run. She's funny, but she is not selling out arenas like Dave Chappelle or Chris Rock. You cannot put yourself in that category, especially since you have been on hiatus since you got that little shiny man on that Oscar, right? You just said, I'm just going to sit here and wait till they pay me what I'm worth. That was like, what, 8-9 years ago? You cannot put yourself... Dave Chappelle is... When he ran away, literally ran away from the Chappelle show, right? Dave's on man, right? But when he literally said, fuck it, I'm going to Africa, they were offering him, what, $30 million? Like, he walked away from that kind of money.
$50 million. 50.
All right. This man walked away... million, right? All right, the sun's going down. Let me take the glasses off.
I was going to say, Yannick got serious. He's like, look, my nigga had to take the glasses off. Let me tell y'all something.
Like so, remember so. But what was I saying now? Yeah,
you
when
said
he
you walked away from 50 million.
He walked away from that deal, and he took a little hiatus himself. But what did the man do? He didn't go back to Hollywood begging. This dude was was doing underground shows, selling out, boy. Netflix came to him and was like, yo, hold this. That's how you do it. You can't get the Oscar and then you gonna piss off all of Hollywood elite, even though I don't really F with them like that. But you can't walk into somebody's job, piss off the manager, and then be like, all right, well, you need to keep me on board here, and you need to pay me more than what I'm paying. That's just not how it works. That's the real world. It don't work like that.
Hold up.
Right?
Hold up. That's just like you getting mad that old boy house around the corner sold for more than yours.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe you need to go in old boy house and see what he did different than you. He put more time and more money into his house, therefore it owed more.
Exactly.
If you don't have, it's just like if you got granite countertops versus fucking chipboard, like y'all know about chipboards. It's basically like glue chips glued together.
Formica.
Exactly. Clearly, there's a difference between levels of quality between that house and this house. It's a difference between your level of quality versus Dave Chappelle. Dave Chappelle was actually doing shows in Ohio where he lives at for like a while. Dave Chappelle came back and was actually chilling out and did not immediately go back to Hollywood. He was just kind of chilling out, being regular, enjoying his family. He was doing a few shows here and there. And then when he decided to jump back out there, he like, look, we're going to do Radio City Music Hall. I need The Roots. I need Erykah Badu. Nigga, I need Barack Obama. I need everybody in this mug. And he sold out. What has
that was because, look how he left. That man walked away from Hollywood like, I don't want this money right now. And I'm just, he left at the height of his career. Much so to where you remember like all the news stories and stuff that was coming out and blog posts. We was still looking for Dave Chappelle on the Where's Waldo side of the game. We was still looking for his brother. And when he came back, it was just that much more exciting because of how he left. Like he was that good when he left. The fact that he could leave and come back after so long and still sell out. Monique does not have that type of pull. She does not have that type of presence. And she said it herself in so many ways. She said that when she started getting attention from Hollywood, she said she changed up. She also said that when she started, and she left her core audience. She said a lot of her friends who was cool with her was no longer cool with her because when she got at this place called Hollywood, She thought she was better than people. She was doing this, doing that, and she just kind of left. And it's one of the things that Corey said. She left her core audience. You left your core audience.
Can I say something about that Charlamagne interview with Monique?
Please.
That was so disrespectful. I wanted to slap her.
Exactly.
Charlamagne guy.
Disrespected. She up in this is what she did in Hollywood. She went up in the man's house, Charlamagne's workplace, and was belligerently disrespectful to him the whole interview.
You bullshit. You bullshit.
Yeah, man.
I was like, man, she is not chilling. Like, she is just going in. Like, first of all, I didn't even know the man's name was, what was his name?
Lenard.
Me either. I thought it was just me. I had no idea what his real name was.
I knew it wasn't Charlamagne, but Lenard, no.
And then you're going to be like, would you give your mother a donkey of the day? All right, but his mom didn't do what you did.
Hold up. When she tripped me out when she say, you know what, you just like that man in that movie who walked his wife into the slave master's house.
That is where I would have lost it. I wouldn't even lie to you.
Not married to you. How does that analogy even make sense?
She's trying to say that basically he's poisoning the black community, and that she's trying to say his examples of it basically is that she basically called him a sellout in so many words.
Look, Charlamagne,
all of that because he said
sorry, in my opinion, Charlamagne's smart enough to toe that line, right? Every now and then he take one step into the coon train and then he step back out, right?
Yeah, he could.
He don't stay for too long. He can't. Because the real nigga come out. He can't stay for
I know
long.
niggas was hot when he took that picture with Tommy Loren. Oh, look at Charlamagne. He sold out. Charlamagne playing the field.
Yeah, he's smart enough to toe that line so that he can keep getting paid and he can stay relevant in the popular society, which is us, right? We the popular, like we get shit popping, right? But we ain't got no money. That's the difference, right?
That's real. You know, you gotta have Farrakhan. You know, you gotta have Tyreek on, and then you gotta have like the real hoes of Hollywood on that mug, to balance it out.
Yeah, exactly. He got a good balance. Every now and then, I'm like, man, what you talking about, Charlamagne? But next week he say something real, and I'm like, all right, shit. I see your hustle, bro. You know
we see you trying, brother. We see you. We
right. I mean, it's not his platform, so you can't be 100% pro-black. You gotta.
But the fact that he could be on this white platform and say words like cracker and still not get fired.
You know why? Because
entertaining.
Because he toes that line.
But see, it's entertaining, though. It goes back to Red Fox. Red Fox was a dude who he would literally go up and he would talk bad about his white audience. And they would eat it up. Go back and listen to some old Red Fox stand-up. He would talk bad to his white audience and they be eating it up.
Yeah.
They be laughing their ass off.
I'm gonna have to look it up.
You could tell the truth. You could tell the truth and be entertaining. If you could tell the truth behind a joke, then it softens the blow.
I got a friend who do it all the time, and everybody always think he playing, and I'm the only one that know he dead serious about what he said about these people. And they just around, but the fact is he laughed behind it. And I'm like, maybe you should just be a little bit more serious. Don't laugh, bro. And it never works because they always think he joking. And he be talking about them bad.
I used to work in a hospital. It's like predominantly women or nurses and all that stuff. Man, I used to say some stuff and they'd be all be laughing. I'm like, I'm serious, man. Y'all ain't shit. They'd be like, they think I'm joking. I'm like, I'm not joking. And then they're laughing. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Oh yeah. Females got that bad. Females got that bad. Women don't listen at all. Baby, this what this is what I need you to do. Now listen carefully. Now this is what I need you to do. Take the white truck because it has gas in it.
That woman was stupid. That woman was.
That's my homeboy, man. I'd be like.
Wait, what that? What happened?
She had her own agenda.
Okay, so a friend of mine who me and him work for the same. We work for the same job. We both do security along light rail alignment. And so one Saturday, he's getting ready to head into work, and he tells his wife, he says, "Hey, take my truck. It's already got the car seats in it, and it's got gas. Take it. Go get the kids from your mama house." Whatever, I'll take the other truck, I'll fill it up with gas on my way to work or whatever, on my way home. She decided that she was going to take the gray truck, ran out of gas, didn't have the car seats in it, and then like, see, this is the reason why I told you to take my truck, because you didn't listen. I've had a problem from women that I've dated, and women who just be trying to holler at me. I'd be like, look, baby, I don't like skinny women, no disrespect. You seem like a nice person. I don't like skinny girls. That's just my preference. Ha ha, you so funny. I'd be like, okay, you gonna see who fuck today, bitch. I'm gonna walk right the fuck up out that restaurant, and I'm not my number. Like, I told you, like, here's the truth. I'm not interested. Why you keep trying to holler at me? That's just women, though. But let's switch gears, though. Speaking of women, so Rebecca's friend Rachel Dolezal. I'm sorry, not Rachel Dolezal.
I don't know that.
Rachel Dolezal is back in the news with a new Netflix special. Now,
I'm telling you, the only white person in modern day that can pimp the black culture the way she pimping it, and she ain't been.
Hold up, I just gotta say this. I just gotta say this, and then Rebecca, I'm gonna throw it to you. Barack Obama and Michelle Obama is in talks with Netflix for a special. Chris special, Dave Chappelle got a special, Marlon Wayans got a special, Cat Williams got a special, Tiffany Haddish got a special. God damn it, Netflix gonna give me a special, and Monique still ain't got one. Rebecca,
Monique better hope the stuff that she got on Netflix.
How Rachel Dolezal get a Netflix special before Monique?
And you know what?
Transracial my ass. Transracial my ass.
Here's a question. Who's more relevant right now, Monique or Rachel Dolezal?
You know what? I don't think Rachel Dolezal is relevant. What she's promoting is relevant.
I said both on equal playing fields. They are both the same thing that Rebecca just said. They're relevant because of what they're promoting. That's it.
Like,
what's Rachel?
Dolezal.
What's Rachel promoting?
Her Netflix, her new Netflix series that she's got coming out.
Basically, the story behind her was, long story short, she was working at the NAACP. Niggas thought she was black. Come to find out the nigga wasn't black. She went to a college and she registered as black. She'd have to pay that much for tuition, and then niggas found out all that was a lie. That's pretty much where we at.
Well, she sued.
Her family came out and outed her.
Okay,
her like, no, she is Caucasian.
She sued.
She is not black.
She sued Howard University.
Thank you.
Yes, she did.
So her transracial.
She sued them. I'm sorry. She sued them on the grounds of being discriminated against because she was white.
Exactly.
Right. So you only a nigga when it's fitting to you. You only a nigga when it's convenient for you. We don't get that choice. We got to be black every day.
Shout out to Miley Cyrus.
Right.
Shout out to Justin Timberlake. Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber. Yeah. Your mama should have had that abortion.
Y'all stupid.
He can sing, but I don't want to hear him tell no jokes.
Yeah,
I'm
I
just
ain't
saying,
gonna
like,
lie.
you.
I'm gonna do Justin
you a
Bieber
black-
like they do us. All right, now go on, get on that stage, do a little soft showing. Don't speak,
Man,
nigga.
like,
Don't
you-
speak. Just sing. Get on that stage. Just sing. Do a little
We don't
soft
pay you to
shoe.
talk. We don't pay
Tap
you to
dance.
dance.
Don't talk. Just sing.
Hellbone, nigga, hurry up. Like, she black
So-
when it's convenient for her, and her son is pissed off about it. Especially
Yeah,
her
I saw
older
that.
son, huh?
I heard that. Yeah.
Her
She
son
got
was like,
her son pissed off about it.
say, oh, I think it's gonna be a good idea. He's like,
Like, no,
bitch.
no.
You know
Yeah,
how black
he was
kids
a-
be looking. That nigga be looking
And then-
like he look at her like, look, bitch, I know you need this paper, but goddamn it, you are embarrassing me. I gotta
You're embarrassing me and my
get
brother.
my ass whooped behind your bullshit. Stop it.
That's pretty much what he's saying in so many words, and she looking at him like, you gotta understand, I gotta get this money.
Oh, that's your
pretty
mama,
much
Rachel
what she said in so many
Dolezal?
words.
Is that? Oh, who's your mama, Rachel Dolezal?
Well, if they gonna spin it, if they gonna do this, I gotta be the one that, get in front of it. I gotta be in control of it. This is what's gonna happen. And
Man,
he's like, no, you don't understand the backlash that we are going through because of this.
Wasn't she
And
on?
could care less.
Wasn't she on food stamps at one point after this whole thing?
I think she was. She went back to braiding hair in her house.
Food stamps, government assistance. She was on all kind of stuff, and then she got that book deal. Started doing interviews with like Good Morning America and all these other people. Yeah.
You can just admit that you're white. It's okay.
But she can't. No. She can't admit the lie, even though we know she lying.
Right.
She can't admit the lie. So you willing to risk it all, lose it all, off of a lie?
Off of a lie, which means that she ain't another suspected white supremacist.
It's almost like you seeing somebody that's gay, and everybody know they gay, but then when they come around you, they say they ain't gay. It's like, nigga, we all know what it is.
Right. Nigga, you gay.
You know what I mean? We already know what it is.
Jail,
So,
nigga,
that's how
you
I
gay.
equate that to Rachel Dolezal. Like, the world knows that you full of it. You just won't say it.
Side, what do you call this? Sideline or
Side note.
side note? I'm an Uber driver, and we got this neighborhood in South Florida called Wilton Manors. It's like, if you want to see gay people walking around holding hands, that's where you go, right? So
Is that where they wear like the bikini shorts, like not bikini shorts, but like the
Whoa.
shorts and stuff outside with the flip flops?
Them
The only reason why I say that
banana
is because-
briefs.
look, if that's what was going on, I would never been over there. But
Nigga, like, you sure we're in the right neighborhood? Yeah, just keep straight.
No, we're not. Right. Y'all dumb, man. Y'all stupid.
no, listen. So I picked up this. Look, when you're an Uber driver, you can be in your neighborhood and then you pick somebody up and you end up 20 miles away, right? So you don't know where you're going, right? So I ended up in that neighborhood and then I got the next ride real quick. I'm like, oh shit, all right. So this dude, when you're an Uber driver, you pull up and then you gotta be looking around. It's like, it was like this club or like this plaza with a bunch of clubs in it. It was like, I never seen that many men in my life, right? So this dude called me. He's like, hey, where are you? Whatever. I'm like, yeah, I'm here in the black car, whatever, So he's like, oh, is that you right there? Whatever. I'm like, yeah, come on, So this guy is like walking to the car and he's like switching hard, right? Like real feminine. I mean, look, I know where I'm at, so whatever, right?
You know what to expect.
Yeah. So this dude come in the car, he's like, oh man, let's get out of here, man. Too many gay people here, man. These damn, I don't want to say faggots, but that's what he said, right?
Right.
So-
That's what he said.
So, yeah. So I was like, well, I mean, you in Wilton Manors. I mean, what you expect?
What did you expect? Right.
Yeah. But I mean, look, this guy walking to the car, he was on some gay-ish already, right? I knew he was gay from the moment I saw it. But he over here bashing gay people, talking about, no, I'm not gay, man. I'm here because I work for a liquor company, blah, blah, blah. And, I'm just partying. And actually, there was this girl at the club, and, she was rubbing on my stuff and all this stuff. But, I was telling her, like, I can't be with you because you're like, you're real hot, but you told me you were 50 years old and you're too old, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, looking at this dude like, bro, you gay, stop. Like, anyway, sorry, that was something.
I feel that.
She has some, that when a gay person's like, oh, they're not gay. That's why that kind of brought that up. My bad.
And you sitting there like, nigga, you lying.
I'm trying to get that 5 stars, so I can't really, you know what I'm saying?
Tell him, nigga, you lying.
Hey, look, just don't hit on me. We cool. Don't.
Yeah.
But like, what
don't
the
try
fuck
to.
lying? Like, just say what it is.
Don't try to be on the sexual assault side of the game, and we cool. Not like I don't have people that I'm cool with who's gay or gay family members. We cool. That's what you want to do. That's fine. No issues with me. That's what you want to do. Just don't bring it over here. We cool,
But I ain't know until like a couple of them did that, and I ain't know that like a lot of these dudes like they be, I don't know if they're in denial or they want to lie to themselves or lie to other people or something. But that was the second time that happened.
Yeah, don't do me like Terry.
Explain to me.
Go ahead.
Huh?
Becky?
It's like you don't have to explain to me why you in this neighborhood. That ain't my business, no way. I'm just here to give you a ride, sir.
Yeah.
Like, that's how you know when somebody know that they should be doing something or they guilty about something. Because as soon as you see them, they just like, let me explain. You ain't even said nothing. You don't even care. They just get to explaining like, see, man, I was over here because, like, sir, you don't even know me. We've been spend 10 minutes together at the most. Like, chill.
Like, man, I made a wrong turn and ended up in this neighborhood. Like, no, bro, you came out here. Stop.
On purpose.
Did that white man say that to Terry Crews when he grabbed his junk?
Nah, he knew what Terry Crews was about, so he didn't have to say nothing.
Oh, look, you say he knew what Terry Crews was about.
Listen.
I think.
Please explain that. Please explain that. Go.
Okay. Are you gonna walk up to a dude that look like Terry Crews and grab his
And
junk?
just grab by the balls? No.
Yeah. if you weren't 110% sure that you wasn't gonna get knocked out and put in a coma, you wasn't gonna do that.
Man, look.
And his claim got dismissed, which is the reason why we're talking about him today. Sorry, Terry. Time's up for you, buddy.
I laughed. I'm just saying, I laughed.
I thought it was BS from the get-go. I mean, not BS like it didn't happen, but...
Oh, it happened. It happened. You a grown-ass man. That's like you, brother. You don't look like small cat. You look like you probably about 6'2", 6'3".
Yeah,
Ain't no 6'1", okay. Ain't no, some guy, despite him being a Hollywood executive, just gonna walk up to you and be like, "Hey, Yannick, how's it going? How's the wife?" You'd be like,
exactly.
"What the hell? Yeah, so
I tell people,
I really like nigga be doing this shit. Yeah, so I really like you in that last movie you did. Maybe we can work something."
Trying to make sure you get a good grip.
He'd be, oh, Terry. Listen, Terry, we got a new movie role for you. You'd be like, Terry be like, well, okay. I need that paper.
Like, oh shit, my wife's here. I gotta act like I'm offended.
Man, bitch. My wife here.
My family's here.
Man, I don't feel sorry for this brother. I just can't, because like the only reason why you said something is because everybody else said something.
Mm-hmm. He on that Me Too business.
Man, and it's like it just kind of disappointed me because I'm like, that just shows me a lot about a person's mentality. Like, you only want to jump on the bandwagon when it's hot. And now you mad because your claim got dismissed because it's past the statute of limitations. And I was so dumb because...
That was a bullshit reason, though, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah,
when this case, and I remember David and I talking about this, when this case first came out, I thought he was saying it happened when he first came into the game. Now, me being simple-minded, I'm thinking he had to be talking about 18, 19. But then David's like, no, he was a football player first, and he got into acting later. He was an adult. And I'm like, what?
I think he got cut, he got injured, or he got cut. Either way, he got cut,
like,
and his football career
So
professionally was over. So, yeah.
Like, so this happened to you as a grown man. Like, you ain't on no Disney Channel type stuff where, like, you 12, 13, and you already acting, blah, blah, blah. Like, you grown. Like, you got wife and you got kids at the time. And you're just not, like...
Nigga, you look like one of them G.I. Joe action figures.
Like, this happened in 2016. I'm thinking this happened when everybody else was saying stuff was happening to them. Like, early off in the game.
That nigga buff like the Michelin Man.
Man.
Listen, I'm 6'1". I'm about 270, right? Like, but I don't look like Terry Crews, right? I ain't got. You can't see my muscles through my shirt, all right? Now, this. I tell people all the time, right? My height and size, I don't get tried. Like, people don't come up to me trying to start fights after, let's say we at the bar or whatever. I don't get tried. Like, it is what it is. I just don't get tried on a regular basis. Like, the last time somebody tried me was in, like, 6th grade. Like, I've always been big, right? Now, I know, and look, I'm a big guy. I'm not going to walk up to Terry Crews and try him. Because the dude is big as fuck, right? And he's cut. And he said his workout regimen is he put the treadmill on like 7 miles per hour. And he do that for like 15 minutes or some shit. Like some crazy shit like that.
Crazy.
Man. But
That's crazy. I put the treadmill
if
on
he's
one
that
time.
athletic, he should have been able to like juke old boy. He'd be like, "Hey Terry, how's it going?" He shouldn't be like,
Them football skills should have kicked in real quick. You would have thought.
"Where you going, Terry?" You'd be like, "Stiff arm, fuck away from me."
Like, them football skills should have kicked in. Man. But he said that he didn't want to be looked at as the angry black man, and he his wife was there. He didn't want to cause a scene and all of that stuff. So,
but listen, man, you ain't finna fumble my balls.
That's
at all.
So, bro, that's sexual assault.
Like, I wonder how was it done? Was it done in mid handshake? Did he just like, hey, oh, what's up, Terry? Get close to him and just like swipe for his balls one time? I wonder how that was done. Either way, it was at Adam Sandler's
He
party.
He walked up to him at the party, be like, "Terry, you want this paper?" Yeah. All right. I need you to meet me in the back in 15 minutes, Terry.
I've never felt so violated in my life. Are you kidding me? Who idea? Was this your wife's idea?
Yeah.
It was his idea.
But all right, here's Becky. Here's something that this is my opinion, right? Whenever black women say that the black celebrities or the rich black men, most of the time they're talking about the Hollywood dudes. And they say, oh, they're always marrying white girls. My opinion is that most of them dudes on the down low, and them white women, they just in it for the paper anyway. They're not like our women, right? Our women, they're in it for love, they're in it for all of that. If they get with a black dude, it's economical, strictly, financial.
I never thought of it. I never thought of it in that aspect.
So whenever I see them dudes, all right, look at Terry Crews. You were a white woman, right?
No, his wife,
I actually said.
high
This
yellow.
woman is allegedly black.
She's
Okay,
black.
sorry,
She just high yellow. She might be.
Wrong person. That dude from Stella got your groove back. What's his name?
Oh, Tay Diggs. Yeah, his wife is white. He's moist for real. He's moist. Did you see him
saw
in that
that
little
video?
routine with Christina Aguilera and he was dressed in drag? Bro, you moist. Stop it.
He did drag
Bro, did you see
on
that?
Broadway.
Did you see that sex tape he made of himself, like a little video? And
I
then
don't
at the end of it,
watch sex.
What?
at the end of the video, like he like, let's say he take his shirt off and he's like in the on the webcam or whatever, right? And then he turn around and put the camera on his ass. Like, what man do that?
I didn't know he had a sex tape.
Bro,
It's like a video, yeah.
rock roll raggy.
Like, who you trying to attract with that though? You know what I'm saying?
Like, but man, his
Yeah.
Broadway career proves that because he did like with him doing Broadway, like he was doing Broadway as some transgender or gay character on Broadway, and he was getting a lot of heat for it.
Ving Rhames.
Yeah, when he works at Ving Rhames and Holiday Heart, he had on like the whole get up, the heels, and the whole get up, like yeah.
That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Wesley Snipes too long food though too. That was just one.
But you know what's
Wesley
crazy
Snipes?
about Wesley Snipes?
Yeah, he did.
Wesley Snipes, yeah, he did Tu Wong Fu. It was him, Patrick Swayze, and John Leguizamo. They did Tu Wong Fu. But it was so crazy because I know part of that was early on in Wesley Snipes' career. But it's so funny how people will bring up everybody else and how they did it. But Wesley Snipes is rarely a name that you ever associate with that because all his other roles have been solid.
Exactly. Therein lies the difference. You know, dressing in drag is nothing new. It's centuries old. I mean, the Japanese used to do it when they used to do kabuki plays because the women were not allowed to be in the play.
True.
So the men would have to play both men and women roles, and they would dress up like women. So, I mean, cross-dressing is nothing new. You know, you're acting. You got to act outside of your comfort zone. I get it. Or if you're making a joke, okay, cool. I'm never going to wear a dress. Ever in my life. Never am I ever going to wear a dress. Ever. But, my nigga, if you wear a dress like one time, okay, all right, cool. I'll let you go. Twice, outside of Big Mama's house, I haven't seen. Well, no, I can't say Martin Lewis never wore a dress because he was Shanae. I thought that was funny, though. I thought it was funny. I don't know. I guess maybe the difference.
Hated that character.
I guess maybe the difference is, like, what's the context surrounding it?
He said he
Like, are
felt
you-
weird because everybody was always looking at his legs, so he would wear like pants or tights or something up under his skirt because he felt odd because everybody was always looking at his legs.
I think you can tell the difference between someone who legitimately kind of sort of enjoys wearing dresses versus someone who's doing this for acting purposes or comedic purposes. I've
Well,
never
do you
seen.
think You think Caitlyn Jenner is doing it for comedic purposes?
Comedic purposes, no. Acting,
To stay relevant in my opinion.
yes. See, the thing is, in order to get that paper in the Kardashian household, you got to be a female. And in order for Bruce to get some money, he had to be a female. You notice he haven't had his genitalia cut off.
Mm-hmm.
He still got his dick, even though he's allegedly had a sex change.
He didn't. He never.
That's
He's going
That's a tough decision, though.
right, and then here's the kicker. Here's the icing on the cake as far as Bruce Jenner is concerned. Not gonna call him Caitlyn. He is Bruce. Is, was, and forever will be Bruce. He got caught on like camera in his little powder room saying all type of homophobic slurs when he thought wasn't nobody listening.
Oh,
After that, the homosexual community came after his ass. He lost his show, which was losing ratings anyway because nobody actually gave a fuck about his little reality show. But once that thing came out, when they was like, hold up, you're supposed to be one of us. You're supposed to be transgender. But you're over here saying these homophobic slurs. A community come after you. It's a wrap. So that's why you ain't really heard nothing from Caitlyn. I think it's bullshit how you got, what was that, Woman of the Year award?
Got the Arthur Ashe Award.
Got the Arthur Ashe Award, even though Arthur Ashe was a black man tennis player. It's just like Oscar Michaud, the Oscar that you get the white people for their hobby. That's a black man too. It's all of us. We everywhere. Y'all don't even realize that.
Well, I knew Bruce Jenner was on some bullshit when he did that sex change, and he said, "I'm a woman, but I'm not gay. I don't date men." But
yeah, he did an interview with Oprah telling him he still date women.
Yeah, he still dates women, but if a man were to find him attractive, he'd be okay with that. Like, that would be nice. Like, what?
So you're bisexual.
Like, sir, you confused.
Yeah, you confuse me with that statement, so I don't even know what the hell you are.
Just say that you're bisexual.
It is something that is toxic in the Kardashian vagina. Killing these brothers.
They are succubuses. They are some straight succubus.
Man.
They're sirens.
Man.
They sing and they look good until they get the man right where they want him, and then they suck the life out of him.
Bruh.
Yeah.
That's why LeBron James was so mad at old boy for messing with Khloe. He was hot.
Well, he had them surgeries.
He did not agree with him messing with Khloe Kardashian at all. He was pissed. I forgot that.
Tristan Thompson.
Yeah, teammates. Yeah, and
Tristan Thompson.
She winning, nigga. She got a baby on the way.
She stayed with niggas.
He was like, no, don't do it. You see what she did to Lamar Odom? Nigga, run.
I feel like LeBron James can't say nothing about his teammates' dating practices after this one teammate fucked his mom.
Ooh, D Wade?
No, it wasn't D Wade.
Dante West. Dante West.
I mean, your mom's grown. Your bird can smash wherever she wants to. Now,
disrespectful, bro.
I would say, like, it is not disrespectful, but your mom will do what you want to do. If she want her some young meat, okay, fine. But don't go parading that all across the media, distracting them from, what we got going over here on Team Cleveland. That's me, Mama wants some of that young NBA dick. Hey, go for it, mama. But
how do you play a game with that brother after that?
Man,
what Eddie Griffin
he ain't
said,
there no
he
more.
was like, you D'ing him up. And he's like, hey, me and your mom. Like, how do you do that?
Listen, I'll say this, though. LeBron James is a much stronger man than me.
Oh, my gosh. He threw all,
Man.
Him over here, he threw all that money away. He forgot he was playing the game. They would have been fighting in the middle of the court.
You see, since that incident, his mama ain't been in the news. See, since that incident, his mama ain't been in the news. She ain't been at courtside for real. His mama ain't been. No, look, mama, you stay in the house. You don't come to no more of my games, mama. You fucking too many of my teammates.
Like, okay, so when we made it, you wasn't supposed to be a hoe no more.
Ooh.
Okay, I'm gonna stop paying for this house. Now, what you gonna do?
Hey, a lot of people don't want to admit their mama a hoe.
Man.
It is what it is.
Let me see. So, Yannick, are you familiar with what's been going on with the news with the Africans taking back the land from the farmers?
Yes, I am familiar with it. And my statement on that is, man, them poor white South Africans. And that's all I got to say about that.
Right, because you know, you being a Jamaican brother and Jamaica being really heavily colonized, you know, I'm pretty sure it bubbles up in your spirit. You like, oh, the white people. Ooh, I feel so bad for them. Let's party.
Man, I
Bringing out the
I
drinks. You be like, oh, the white
said
people getting kicked out of Africa.
I said a prayer for him last week. You know,
Man,
I hope their journey to wherever they're gonna go after this is a safe one.
nigga, bring on the jerk chicken,
See,
bro.
okay,
We
I'm
finna have a
confused
party.
because a part of me wants to say, you niggas is really being facetious. A part of me wants to say that, but I'm trying to. Am I right?
I ain't being facetious. I'm being
like,
dead
what the
serious.
hell is going on?
Nigga,
like,
it does my heart
We
some
still
good.
doing these niggas? Like,
It makes me feel all warm and tingly inside to know that these white farmers are getting kicked off their land. That's why I say if I was Jamaica, nigga, we finna go down to the beach. We finna get some Bahama mamas. We smoking up all the weed. Nigga, we gonna get some jerk chicken in this motherfucker. We gonna have a party. Celebrate. Now, I will say that we can't celebrate too much because with progress sometimes comes regression. So we'll stay mindful. Hopefully these Africans stay on their shiznit and they continue to take the land from the white farm owners. You could be our slaves. How about that?
I pray for the white people in South Africa.
I've known some white South Africans.
y'all so full of shit.
They they'd be like, well, we can't be racist. We're from Africa. I'd be like, please. I done known some racist.
That has nothing to do with nothing.
I know some racist South Africans, okay? You know the ones. I'm not racist. I'm African. Okay.
Now, I went to this all white school. This was the first time I had ever heard of anybody talking about they were white from South Africa,
Right.
because we was always raised up to believe that people who look like us live in South Africa. So, you know, with niggas, we young, we in the hood, we ain't got no cable. We don't even know what that is. You used to have the old TV with the turn thing on it that broke off. You know what I mean? So, like, you go to this all-white school, it's predominantly white. Like, it's 6 black people, everybody else is white, including the teachers. And it's like, you sit in the class, you're like, yeah, I'm from, we got this new student. Like, where you from? From South Africa. And my first comment, and I did say it out loud, was, I'm like, but you're not black. And he looked confused, like, but I am from South Africa. I'm like, yeah, but you're not black. Like, what?
White.
Yeah, needless to say, I got in so much trouble for that. But I'm just saying, like, I had never heard of that until then.
Trip me out.
Apparently the white inhabitants of South Africa basically murdered and pillaged and took the land. But, you know, I still pray to Jesus that they have a safe journey to wherever they're going.
I'm so done with him.
You see how they petitioning Trump
He is completely
to let them come over here?
Like, it's kind of hard to tell a little bit.
That man said we gonna pray to Jesus.
All right, when he said that, I was like, oh, okay, yeah.
So I say Jesus ain't came back for us niggas, so hopefully he take equally as long with the white South Africa.
What did that? It was a rapper that was on Corey's show. I forgot.
2018 years, Jesus, we still waiting. I'm just saying.
He said that he told himself, if there really was a God, or if there really was a Jesus, not a God, but there really was a Jesus, he has been doing terribly by the black community. He done left us, forgot all about us. Everybody on the come up except for us.
My thoughts on Christianity. I was actually raised Roman Catholic in Jamaica. Right now, I don't go to church. I pray though. You know, I pray to God.
Right.
You know, but I don't have a cross in my home. I don't have a picture of Jesus. You know, and basically Catholicism was given to us as a means of oppressing us and making us feel like, well, the Bible does say, obey your master. And, those are the scriptures that they allowed us to know and to preach.
Right.
So for people to be doing that in 2018 and waiting for Jesus to come, like, I hate to say it, but I just look at him like, I mean, come on, man, think.
Oh, yeah, that's real. I get it. I'm not, I do go to church, but I go to church to commune with other African people. And what we're doing, I'm not sure if you've ever read The Miseducation of the Negro, but Carter G. Woodson speaks heavily about the religious organization being the backbone of a community. You figure the Jews have their religious organization, and the Muslims, they have their mosques and stuff that they rally behind. So why not use the church or use the religious institution to help the community? Because that same Bible that says that you should obey your earthly masters, I could use that same Bible and teach you that the Lord will stand behind you as long as you stand for righteousness. And
well, there's two problems. I'm sorry.
I would say, obeying your earthly masters, that's a load of crap. For every scripture that you want to throw in there, I just look at it like the Bible's a tool. I know that it's a copy of a copy of a copy that came out of Kemet. I simply use it just as a tool. I speak sometimes, and I just used a story in the Bible to teach us about revolution. I use the story of Jesus' betrayal by two different individuals to teach our people, black people, that you cannot trust everybody. So I just look at it like as a tool. It has been a tool of oppression, but you can also use it to teach and uplift message, and then codify and throw some things in there within the mix for people to kind of catch up on as they will. What you got?
I agree with you. It can be used as a tool, but in my humble opinion, the version of Christianity that we have been taught and perpetuate within our own communities, it's too ingrained in our society. Like what we have been taught, and the parts of it that we choose to follow, for us to just get up and change it all the time. So it's kind of like I said, in my humble opinion, it's kind of like black people have this. We have a way of thinking that we have to have leaders. In my opinion, white people have leaders, but they can afford to do that because they're already on top. Like they have Donald Trump. When white people saw Donald Trump, they were like, racist white people, they were like, oh shoot, I can be racist now, because the leader of the free world is racist, so I can be like that now too. Hold on one second, my wife. Hey, baby.
Hello, Miss Yannick.
How you doing, Mrs. Mccook?
She walked away.
Righteous.
What was that? I'm sorry. Yeah, it's kind of like we have the leaders. Like we were talking about this earlier in the chat room, Dave, where the reason why we scrutinize our leaders is because they keep betraying us. They keep, they get up there and then you find out they're not what they say they are,
True.
But really and truly, the only way they're going to get up there is if they're an agent anyway. You know what I'm saying? So my opinion is the way how you combat that is, it's kind of like, it's what Tariq said. Instead of having leaders, everybody has a code that every man follows.
Right.
And if you follow that code, you don't need Barack Obama to tell you, all right, this is what we're going to do. because everybody's already doing the same thing, moving the same direction. Like, them people have a code, and they follow it religiously. That's why 10 white people in the same room, they already know what they're going to do because they already got that code. They know which direction we headed. They don't need somebody to say nothing to them. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
real.
10 white people get on the jury, and you black, they already know what they're going to say. They're going to say guilty. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I agree.
So,
I completely agree.
So that kind of, when I say, it's kind of been bastardized, is because we got people like Creflo Dollar running around here talking about they need a G6 or a G7 or whatever.
And it has. I am in completely agreement with you. And I'm not a Christian. I gave up so-called Christianity years ago. But we go to church and we worship and we use that time to discuss certain things with the family. Say everything because I know there are some vultures who are listening. As is always, so I'm not going to say too much, but we just basically use our quote worship time to basically come together and discuss some things as family. And like I say, we just use our church to try to uplift the community. It has an Afrocentric face because we're trying to work within the community, in the community of impoverished black people. So that's what we use the church for. We use it to reach out to the community and try to get them on board, try to get them to our community meetings and, try to get their, so we run after school programs. We got kids and we work with the kids, and hopefully through the kids, you can get the parents to try to reprogram the parents' brain. So, it's just, I would just say, my situation, it's no different than any other, grassroots organization. It's just the church.
Yeah. And you know what? That's what it used to be. It used to be that's our meeting place where we would plot what we're gonna do next.
Exactly.
But like I said, man, it's really been bastardized, and now you don't have that many men going to church because I feel like men kind of see the game of it. Like some of the women who go to church right now, they go there so that they can be validated in all the stuff that they just did that week. I'm single, Jesus is going to find me a man, a good man, whatever, who's going to take me with all of my flaws and whatever. In the meantime, when I leave this church, I'm about to go sleep with Tom, Dick, and Harry, or I'm about to go do something that's not ladylike that would prevent me from getting a quality man, stuff like that.
Shit, they be in the church texting nigga who be on the other side of the church. Hey, so what's up? What we doing after service?
So all of that got to be cut out. If we really going to use it for the right purpose, all of that got to be cut out. Unfortunately, this is why I say I don't think, it's my opinion, I don't think it's a good thing right now, is because that's what it's become.
Right.
And it's like everybody know that one chick that you might have messed with or whatever, and she go to church religiously, but she be doing the most scandalous ish. She ain't nothing like what she's supposed to be like.
Church hoes.
Yeah.
Don't start with that Gooch the Great stuff. Gooch.
Shout out to Gooch, the motherfucking
gotta
great.
love Gooch. Gotta love Gooch.
I don't understand how this man has not been on the 5150 show yet. Don't get it. But anyways,
awesome, man.
Shout out to Gooch the Great, man.
He be like that. Whoever this preacher is, they be preaching to these women. Yannick,
I know who you're talking about. But I'm telling you,
to these women, talking some church hoes, and you hear Gooch in the background. They hoes. Like I can't explain it. Like, I just have
I'm telling you, Daddy, he ain't got nothing on Thaddeus Matthews.
Oh my God!
It's the cussing pastor.
They call him the cussing pastor.
He's like, they call me the cussing pastor. This dude talking about somebody sent him an email talking about how can you get on here as a pastor talking about how you like big booty women. He nigga like, listen, let me tell you something. He like, you damn right, I like a big booty girl. I like a big booty girl with some nice breasts. And if your pastor don't like a big booty girl, that means he like a big booty boy with breasts.
Hey, you saw he cussed out Phil.
He cussed out that one dyke chick. He like, look, goddamn it, I'll slap you in your mouth. God, don't you disrespect me on this motherfucking show now.
Hold on. Yannick, you said he cussed out Phil on the Advice show?
Damn near, yeah.
I didn't even know he did an interview with him.
Yeah, wow. It wasn't that long, maybe like 20 minutes. But at the end, he was getting agitated. Like Phil was asking him questions, man. Like, look, man, you know, like he had to be holding himself back.
That dude is hilarious. He got the going off.
Oh yeah, man. He don't miss words for no.
He got the going off on that Leslie girl. He like, look, bitch, I'll knock your ass now. Don't you play with me. You want to act like a man? I treat you like a man. It'd be like that bus driver from Cleveland. You going to jail now?
Man, do you know I watched that video at least 15 times and
Gail say
every single time.
Like you know how you get hit. You know how you get hit in them really cheesy action movies and you get knocked back like 30 feet. That's what happened to go. He said, "Fire."
I don't know. I think that video itself has so many views, man. And I feel like most of them come from me because I watched that video. I can't count how many times and laughed every single time. And I had a friend that was like, "How can you watch that? How can you watch that? He's hitting that woman." I said, "Are you kidding me?"
Look like somebody sliced your face up.
I was mad. I was mad that man lost his pension. I was pissed off about that.
Yeah. I am hella mad about that. Let me see what time we got.
It wouldn't surprise me if the cussing pastor would turn around and hit old boy with that Jorge Pena. When Jorge Pena slapped the best out of that girl on that New York train that opened.
You stupid.
My buddy with the V-Rex jacket.
That 8-ball jacket on.
That 8-ball jacket. Smacked her, then turned around and smacked her friends. Oh, that was perfect.
Hey, that girl, dude, she was pissing me off, man. She was like, it was like she had a lot of masculine energy, man. It's like, yo.
That's a lot of these females, bro. That's just like that chick who was at McDonald's and she was cussing homeboy out and he reached across another nigga to hit her.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, man.
Chill.
You know it's serious. He had to reach across somebody else. Like, hold on, bro. Fire! I'm sorry I had to reach across you. I had to handle that.
Hey, gotta do what you gotta do.
Man.
But hey, listen, guys. I gotta bounce, man. You know.
Righteous. Man, appreciate you coming through, Yannick, man. You always welcome to come back.
I'm sending you an email because I need a good recipe for jerk chicken. I appreciate it if you can help us out on that.
Just because I'm Jamaican don't mean I cook jerk chicken, man.
And he knows somebody that cook jerk chicken.
And they be acting like Dylan from Chappelle. You too close, man. You too close. Tell me, there are 5 best rappers in the world. Name them. Dylan, and Dylan.
That old Dave Chappelle, yeah, man.
But yeah, man, hey, you got something you want to promote, big dude, before you get up out of here, man? You want the people to get at you? What's up?
I guess I should promote my channel, innit?
I think you should. You should.
All right, y'all might have to. I'm gonna have to spell this one out. It's called Sanika and Yannick. Damn, I gotta change it. But anyway, S as in Sam, A as in Apple, N as in Nancy, E as in Edward, I as in Indigo, C as in Cat, K as in Kite, A as in Apple. The signal, the sign for and, not the word, the sign.
Right.
And then Yannick is YANNICK.
Cool.
Righteous.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Right. Facebook, Instagram.
All right, let me do the Instagram. JZJM. JayZeejm. That's the Instagram. I don't know if I want to put the Facebook out there. You know what I'm saying?
That's cool. You ain't got to put the book out there.
Okay.
No problem, man. Well, we appreciate you coming through, man, chopping up good game. And much blessings to you and your wife on your future journeys.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, guys. It was great.
All right, big dog. We'll holler back at you.
All right.
So, Rebecca,
Yes.
it's me and you now.
You stupid.
Yeah, man. So that's brother Yannick Mccook from Jamaica, dog. That's a good dude, fellow 50 enthusiast. My bro was over here chopping up some heavy game on the real estate, bro. So, man, y'all go follow my brother channel, man. Him and his wife. Y'all go follow that man. Get them subs up for real. Let me see. What do we have left? Yes. So I know I tagged you in the article about the Ghanaian teacher who teaches his students Microsoft Word via chalkboard. Now, initially, I was all for it because Microsoft was going to donate a classroom full of computers. But as you told me, they're donating one computer. And I had to go back and I reread the article because I missed that. And Microsoft is only donating one computer. Now, as far as that teacher, kudos to you, brother. Salute to you. This man is teaching Microsoft Word on a chalkboard. You can't say Africans ain't gonna overcome, nigga. We don't need a computer. We can teach it to you on this good old chalkboard. I'm talking about dude had the whole breakdown, the diagram, different colors and everything. Like, this man could literally teach you how to run Microsoft Word based off of a chalkboard. And I was like, oh, okay. Microsoft was going to give a classroom full of computers. Like, that's what would make sense if you want the man to teach Microsoft Word. You want to get a whole children a classroom full of computers. Like, you ain't going to do nothing but write it off in your taxes anyway, Microsoft. But they only gave him one computer.
That's it.
It's some disrespectful stuff right there. Becky, please go in on our brother who teaches Microsoft Word.
I think that's amazing. Like, when I seen like what he did and how he did it, I was just trying to figure out like how was he able to like mentally break all of that down. Then I felt like, because I made a comment under the article itself, because this guy was like, that's messed up, they can afford more than one computer. And I was like, yeah, that's messed up, because like, y'all can take those computers and write it off on your taxes. This is all y'all gonna give me is one. I'm like, this one computer gonna last this man maybe 4 to 5 months. Because if they need it over 50, that means that it's so many kids that need to learn how to use a computer, and you want every child to get their chance. That computer gonna be burnt out in 4 to 5 months. You could have wrote that off on your taxes. Like, you ain't gonna miss them damn computers. You spend money you spend more money on BS.
Man, Bill Gates.
So I'm saying
on
like,
his own,
and somebody
Bill Gates
saying,
owned his own island.
And somebody was saying in the comments like, "Oh, y'all just being ungrateful," and I'm like, "No, it's not about being ungrateful. You are grateful that you get the one, but you have all of those students over there. You mean to tell me that all you could or wanted to donate was one computer for over 100 students?"
Nigga, that's like me going to Flint, Michigan, dropping off one pallet full of water.
Right.
I'll say one pallet full of water. What is one pallet going to do a whole city? That's basically like one family's worth of water.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Oh, hey, we're going to give you some water, Flint, but every household gets one bottle of water.
That's some nonsense. It was a waste of. You could have kept your money. Could have kept your computer.
I think it's disrespectful. I think it says a lot about the state that we're in, although some will look at it as at least they did something. But I look at it as it's more so like, look, we're going to give you niggas one computer so we can pretend like we care about you, but all the while we do not want you to learn our systems. Because if they learn the systems, then these are going to be the same Africans who are going to create a new system and sell it. Like Microsoft and Apple are the big giants. But all of the material that they need from their processors and microchips come out of Africa. So if the Africans were to start making computers and start writing software and stuff like that, that could be very well the next Apple, Microsoft coming out of Africa. It could be the next AfricaSoft or something. So I just don't think that they want to teach those kids something, because that's going to elevate their consciousness. And it's funny because our speaker for this morning, Brother Quarles, I don't know if he's probably not any relation to your Quarles, but Brother Quarles had made mention to back in the slavery days, if the slave was caught peeping through a hole of the schoolhouse, watching the teacher spell words across the board, they would whip that slave for trying to learn how to read. And I feel that's the same way, because it was Philip E. McWiley who created the internet. They got Africans now who creating cars and all type of stuff that's way better than anything any European country has done. So I just feel like if they give the Africans any sort of substantial handout, then they're going to pull the rest of their brothers and sisters up out of the dirt, and Africa can become a superpower as a continent, I guess. I mean, probably not all the countries might not be on that, but it's just like South Africa. Well, it actually started with Zimbabwe. Started with Mugabe. He started kicking out the white farmland owners and getting their land and giving it back to the Africans. Now South Africa's following suit. Now other countries are starting to follow suit. And then hopefully once those countries get on board and follow suit and raise up against the system, now hopefully they can get into that Libya. Hopefully they can get up there as one, as Africans, and stop the other brothers and sisters from getting sold into slavery from Libya. Because the Arabs have been in slavery longer than Europeans. Just put that out there. Becky?
Well, what am I supposed to say behind that, brother?
I don't know. You don't have to say anything. You can say no comments. Or
Like, damn,
I don't have anything to say.
honestly, you pretty much said everything. That's like coming up behind the good thing and be like, okay, your turn.
Man. That's why nobody likes to, it's like comedians. You got people who open up for you, but you don't want them to be funnier than you. Because they'll kill the show. I think that's why the Wayans brothers was like rotating who would like open and who would close the show. Because I think it was like Marlon Shawn and I think like Keenan Ivory like a couple of years ago. They was doing like this tour together. Yeah. And they was all talking about how they would rotate like who's going to open and who's going to close the show, because all of them are so funny. Like basically once they get up there, you're going to kill the audience to the point where they just like literally have like no more laughter in them. Like you just done laughing. So, but anyways, Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish is having a great year so far. Shout out to
Yes, she is.
she did the TRL. I love the fact that her stand-up is like based off of, well, I haven't really heard like any of her stand-up, but what I heard on her SNL thing, her bit was like surrounded by like how she's like ghetto fabulous. And I don't mean like ghetto fabulous is like a bad thing. I say like ghetto fabulous, like, look, you know, I got this dress and this dress cost me $4,000. Like all my people's trying to tell me, girl, you can't wear that dress. You can't look. This dress is an Alexander McQueen, and this dress costs $4,000. I'm finna get married in this dress. I'm going over here with this dress. I'm finna go party in this. This dress is $4,000. I felt
That's right.
I
think
felt
she
her
wore that
so
dress
much.
like 4 or 5 times, and they
It was
trying to
3.
clown her for it.
It was 3 times. She wore the dress on SNL. She wore the dress on 2 other red carpet events. And she, you know, she switched up the hair and she switched up the accessories, but it was the same dress. But I just love the fact that when I say ghetto fabulous, like she owns the fact that she's hood and she not letting Hollywood try to change her up like Monique. She like, look, this dress costs $4,000. I'm gonna get more than one wear out of this dress.
That's right.
And I feel that so much. Nigga,
To me, it's humbling. It's like, okay, you know, you ain't just saying just because you in this place that you got to keep up with the times and do what everybody else doing. She's comfortable in doing her own thing. And what y'all gonna say about it?
exactly. I like the fact that she just owns the fact that she like, look, I'm not trying to change. I'm Tiffany. And this is who I am. And this dress entails part of who I am. So shout out to her. Shout out to her for wearing that Alexander McQueen 3 times. I ain't mad at you, sister. All you gotta do, put it in the cleaners, get the dress steamed, keep it wrapped up in that little plastic bag, hang it up in the closet, bring it back out, you know, later on in the year. Bring it back out. You can wear that dress again, because, nigga, if I pay $4,000 for anything that I'm going to wear, trust me, I'm going to wear it more than once. I don't care how much money I got. But, you know, she wore this other dress to the Oscars, I believe it was. She wore a Eritrean style
Just part of her
dress.
culture. Her dad
Right.
had passed away, I think, last year or a year ago, something like that.
Yes.
So
Her
she
dad.
wore the dress from part of her culture.
Yes, her dad is Eritrean, from Africa, and so therefore she's Eritrean by culture. I don't think she ever lived there. I don't think she ever lived there, but that's her father's culture. So I think she told her father before he passed. Yeah, she did. She told her father before she passed. She's like, when I make it to the Oscars, I'm going to wear a dress that reflects, or I'm going to wear an outfit that reflects our culture. And I believe the dress is 100% Eritrean.
Yes, it is.
So,
It was a dress and a
accessories.
sombrero. It's a
Accessories?
I forgot what it's called. No, it's a part of the dress that she had on. The cape that we would call it a cape, but it's not a cape.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
like
I
a
know.
shawl.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Like a
It
train.
was dope.
Like a train on a wedding dress almost. Sort of.
Nah, this kind
No.
of the shawl goes over your shoulders.
Oh, over your shoulders,
The
right.
black.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was dope. I thought it was dope.
Much respect and shout out to Tiffany Haddish. I like her. She keeping it real. She's holding it down for her people. She's holding it down for her culture. She not out here talking bad about nobody. And from what I understand, Tiffany Haddish been putting it down for a long time. She's just now getting her break. So I'm just glad that she so far has not sold out or cooned or shuck and jive or anything. You know, I'm happy that she getting her money, and I'm kind of looking forward to that Netflix special because I thought she was a little bit funny on SNL. You know, I like the fact that she worked her sort of mind state into her routine. Like, I'm gonna say this one more time. Like, hey, yeah, this dress costs $4,000. Like, she just kept saying, like, this dress costs $4,000. And I just like the fact that she keeping it real. I just like the fact that she keeping it real. It's like wedding dresses. Most women only wear their wedding dress one time.
That is true.
And after that, they never wear it no more. And I know a black woman. She owns her own seamstress shop. And I believe it was her telling me, she's like, I never understand why all these girls get these wedding dresses that they only gonna wear one time. She's like, when they can take that same dress and get it altered for a little or nothing and turn that dress into something else. Like, so it starts off as a wedding dress. So she's saying, like, they could take this wedding dress that they paid $2,000-$3,000 for, you know, however much they paid for, and they could get the dress altered and turned into like an evening gown or a cocktail dress or something. Mm-hmm. You know, she just said, she just basically like, and I mean, she's a seamstress, so obviously that's her profession. So she was just basically saying, like, I never understood why they pay all that money for a dress they're gonna wear one time when you can take that dress and refabricate it and turn it into something that you can wear again.
True.
That's all I got to say about that. Anything? Nothing?
I agree.
You agree. Did we get on that black cowboy last week?
We did talk about the black cowboy.
We did talk about the black.
Cheated.
Right. Okay. So we definitely do not want to discuss that again. This white woman.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the one with the fox.
The one that's killing it.
Oh my God.
What's her name? Sanaya Say.
I don't know what this chick's name is, but it's this white girl, and she does, I think she does like vlogs or something online, and she has this this rare fox. It's called a Phoenix fox. It's like a little handheld fox, kind of like a little toy fox. You know, it's really small and cute. Why you would want to have a rare fox for a pet, I don't know, instead of maybe trying to do some conservation and having that fox breed with other foxes to raise the population. But okay, all right. That's a sidebar, that's a side note. But this chick is a proud vegan. You know, veganism is the new thing. That's the new trend. We going vegan. Becky, I'm going to try being a vegan. Everybody wants to be vegan. Vegan.
Ain't all that fun up here.
I know that nigga Tyreek trying to be vegan. He's been doing like the 30-day vegan challenge, and that nigga been talking about how hungry he been. He like, look, man. He like, I've been doing this vegan challenge. He like, nigga, I'm hungry as shit. But back to the story. Yeah, so she has this rare fox as a pet, and she takes veganism to the extreme, to where she forces her fox to be vegan. And it's gotten to the point where the fox is like malnourished, underweight, losing hair, going blind because the fox is not getting the nutrition it needs. A fox needs meat in order to live. Like, there's no way around it. It's like 80% meat and like 20% grains, I think the article said. That's like trying to force a fucking lion to eat greens and green beans and cauliflower. Like, lions don't eat cauliflower. They eat meat. That is the way they were designed. They were designed to eat meat. Am I correct? That fox was designed to eat meat. It's like your dog.
90% of his
90%
diet is meat.
And 10% grains.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's just like your dog. Your dog, when you get dog food, it may look like it's just dried up pebbles, but that dog food is like ground up meat and like organs and like ground up grains and rice, if you get the good stuff. If you get that cheap shit, then I don't know what's in that cheap shit. But if you get like Blue Buffalo or Purina One or, you know, one of those more higher end brands, they break down the composition. So even when you feed your dog that kibble, it has all of the nutrition that it needs.
Now,
I've tried to feed my dog other stuff, and although it'll fill his stomach, he will look malnourished because I was going through a hard time and I had a dog and I didn't have no food and he really didn't have no food because I didn't have no money. So I would just feed him whatever I could just to put something on his stomach. And he would literally look malnourished and hungry because he was not getting the proper vitamins that he needs. So this dumb white girl decides that this is a good idea for this fox to be vegan. And the fox looked like it had probably done died. And then she came out with an article, and I'm pretty sure Rebecca got it pulled up on the phone if I see that correctly. I'm pretty sure she's going to correct me if I'm wrong.
This is what it looks like now.
Right.
Can you see it?
Yeah, that looked like one of them Egyptian hairless cats. That's what that thing looked like.
So she gonna say, this is what she said.
What she said,
Those
Becky?
are the famous internet photos that the person who started all these lies used were taken in 2015. When Jumanji, that's what she named this fox, when Jumanji was eating meat and had the pollen allergy. She said her Instagram is now private due to all the harassment and death threats I've been receiving. I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety due to the situation.
Oh, Lord.
Crap. This is why I'm hesitating in doing a live here or not. Imagine that a person takes 3-year-old pictures from an allergy your baby has in spring, summer, and starts a viral lie that many pages share without checking the truth. How would you feel? If you're interested, however, in checking them by yourself, message me your Instagram account and I'll accept your request to be able to see it. At the end of the day, you made this fox vegan and he's not supposed to be vegan. Period.
That fox looked like
Why?
that naked mole rat from Kim Possible.
Why is this fox even able to be a house pet? He's not a cat.
You mean that naked mole rat?
You stupid. Then she writes another post that says, is Jumanji lethargic, slow, or tired? I'll let you decide. I'll debunk this and the rest of the lies have been virally shared recently regarding my son's health soon. I keep forgetting when people have pets, they literally call these people, they call the pets their children.
White people.
I'm thankful. I am deeply thankful for all the support I've been receiving. And I want to thank all people who messaged me and asked me politely concerned about his health without harassing me or threatening to kill me. I'm just saying, why is it that when people go vegan, they feel like everyone around them is supposed to be vegan? And it's almost like they seclude themselves because they don't feel like they can have friends that eat meat. Does that make any sense? Because
Yeah.
they feel like they're better than you to a certain extent.
And then the same ones be trying to throw like paint and stuff on people's furs. You're killing the environment. Like, nigga, please. You say that because you live in a warm climate. But, nigga, if you was up north, nigga, you would need a fur coat. Honestly.
She said,
Your
I don't
difference.
understand why people wear fur coats. They're disgusting. They're this, they're that.
You can say what you want, but a fur coat is warm.
When the fox fur looks so much better. Yeah, fox fur also shed though.
Yeah, fur is warm. That's why, like, a lot of those, like, Eskimos would have fur, or they'll take the seal skins and stuff like that and make boots out of them. Because the seal skin has that oil and it's, like, waterproof. So they'll take the hide and turn it into boots, and their boots now become waterproof. You know, it's just no different. They'll take a fox, you'll make it out of a hat. Or you'll kill something and you'll make it out of a coat. When you're in that extreme cold, you need something that's going to keep you warm. And that fur is going to keep you warm. I'm not for nor against having furs. I'm not a fur person. I don't know if I would ever get a fur. But I kind of feel like if you are farming these animals specifically for this purpose, and do what you do. Because it kind of seems like, especially with the Caucasoid community, it seems like the only time they're willing to save something is if they can make a profit off of it. Otherwise, they'll just wipe it off the planet. So I think as long as you can make a profit off of it and you can still continue to conserve and have these animals run free in their natural habitat, then yes. It's no different than cows. You know, you raise cows to be slaughtered or you raise cows to produce milk. Okay, cool. That's their purpose. You say what you want to say, but, I mean, death is all around us. So.
True.
That's
very true.
But her and that naked mole rat. Yeah, white people. I don't know what to say. They just be on one.
Naked mole rat.
Say, oh, my fox is vegan. Like, no. Your fox needs meat. The human body can actually survive without meat. The human body technically actually doesn't need meat. We should technically be vegetarians. But I'm never going to be a vegetarian nor a vegan because I like meat. And I know that I can lose this weight that I have and still eat meat. So, I like meat and I like to barbecue. Barbecuing hamburgers, not soy burgers out here, nigga. Corn burgers. Maize. Got this maize. Keep calm and let the quarrels handle it.
Yes.
That's right. So Rebecca, you familiar with the black actor who got hit in that head with a bottle in Spain?
Yeah, he had a cut across the side of his head. But
wasn't he one of the Black Panther actors? I think. I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but basically, a white woman threw a bottle or something at dude's head and cut his head, like cut him. And then she was just basically like, well, I can fucking kill you, nigger, and there's nothing going to happen to me because we're in Spain. And that's basically the whole story.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think nothing did happen to her.
No. You know ain't nothing happened to her. You know ain't nothing happened to her. No.
Let me see. Here we go to the article. I
Pull
don't know if it's...
Pull up the Carfax, Rebecca.
A woman allegedly hit the victim twice with a beer bottle and said, I don't want black people in this place or in front of me. A Cameroon-born actor says he almost lost an eye on Saturday after a white woman assaulted him in a restaurant in Madrid. Marius Mccook, who is also known as Elton Prince, told the Spanish newspaper El País that he was ordering coffee with friends when the couple approached him. McCone said the woman, who police later described as 32-year-old El Salvador, told him 32-year-old from El Salvador, told him, "I don't want black people in this place or in front of me." McCone said he told the woman he'd be leaving in a moment and added, "I don't have any interest in staying near you for long." The woman allegedly called McCone a black piece of shit, according to the Washington Post. She said, "I'm white, I can kill you and nothing will happen." The woman allegedly smashed a beer bottle against the actor's head twice, causing cuts and other injuries that required medical attention. Got a knot. He had a huge knot on the side of his head. You will see that.
Yeah.
And he said after the attack, the other customers helped McCone with his injuries while the restaurant owner called police. After witnesses identified the suspect, McCone filed a report at the police station. The woman was arrested according to the Associated Press, but was released shortly after she provided a statement to the police, according to them. McCone went into detail the incident on Facebook, said he does not feel any hatred towards his assailant. He says, now I am in my house and I look through these images of my injuries. I do not feel any hate towards the woman. I want to say that I am not angry with her. I do not know her. I am sad that she feels such hate, that she lives with hate. It saddens me that she does not enjoy life, that she doesn't leave a small piece in her heart to love. And it says the Spain Migration Network, a group, blah, 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 is asking prosecutors to investigate the incident as a crime. However, the Civil Liberties Union for Europe notes that Spain does not have any comprehensive and united policies against racism.
Of course it doesn't.
1 million people in African origin live in Spain and deal with frequent racism.
I
can guarantee you that law would definitely change if a black person, if he'd have slapped the skin off that white lady. I guarantee you he would have been arrested and not released.
No, Spain's racist as mother. They mad that they still got all that Negro blood inside of them. That's why the Dominicans act like they act. Dominican and Haiti is the same island. But Dominicans claim their Spanish heritage, quote. Haitians claim their African heritage, but they the same people. Same boat stop. Is just half, well, not half, but the Dominican side of the island belonged to Spain, and the Haitian side of the island belonged to France. Same people. That's why you got Dominicans that's blacker than Haitians, nigga. Come on now. But yeah, it's Spain. Nothing you can do, brother. Racism's worldwide.
True.
That's true, nigga. But Becky, can you be racially fluid? Yes or no?
Well, for those of us who don't know what that is, what does it mean to be racially fluid?
Well, they imply that racially fluid means that you can be born a white person, an Asian person, or whatever, and you can identify as some other culture. Now, I will just say this, and I'll be done with it. There's no such thing as being racially fluid. There's only one race. There's the human race. There's no such thing as being racially fluid. We're all one race. We're the human race. Can you be fluid with who you identify with? Yes, but in most people's cases, they just want to be fluid when it suits them, i.e. Rachel Dolezal. And that's all I got to say about that.
You racially fluid when it's convenient for you. When it's convenient for the time. Must be nice.
Must be nice.
Maybe I should go to work and be like, you know what? I do not identify with African American. I identify with Caucasian American. My name is Rebecca, a.k.a. Becky. I identify with white. That's who I identify with. I don't listen to rap music and the booty shaking. You know, the statistical stuff they think black folks do. You know, I don't identify with that. Think that'll work? No?
No.
Maybe I'm too dark.
No. But Before we leave up out of here, because we still have a few minutes, I stumbled across an article that is entitled "The Forgotten Black Woman Inventor Who Revolutionized Menstrual Pads."
Didn't know that.
Right. Her name is Mary Beatrice Davidson Kenner. She was a self-taught inventor who created the sanitary belt and filed 5 patents in her lifetime. This was an article that came out on a website called Broadly, BROADLY.vice.com. If anybody wants to go look at that. And she just died recently, as a matter of fact. She died in 2006. But who wrote this article? Oh, it is an Asian woman who actually wrote this article. Her name is Zing Xing. And it says, I'm just going to read like bits and pieces of it. It says, when I was growing up, all the scientific heroes and geniuses I learned about were men, or specifically white men. As the story of Mary Beatrice Davidson Kenner proves, that's just plain historical inaccuracy. There have been thousands of women, inventors, scientists, and technologists. They just never got the recognition they deserve. While writing the Forgotten Women book series, I wanted to pay tribute to these unsung heroes. Each book contains 48 illustrated profiles of women from history. The number 48 was chosen to reflect the total number of women who have been awarded the Nobel Prize in its 116-year history. Women were barred from the corridors of the most scientific establishments and academic institutions for centuries, but they carried on regardless. They transformed their bedrooms into laboratories, turned coat hangers into scientific equipment, and in the case of Kenner, saved and scrimped for their own patents. Okay, so the article starts, Mary Beatrice Davidson Kenner, born 1912, died in 2006, always had trouble sleeping when she was growing up in Charlotte, North Carolina. Her mother would leave for work in the morning through a squeaky door at the back of the house, and the noise would wake Kenner up. So I said one day, Mom, don't you think someone could invent a self-oiling door hinge? She was only 6 at the time, but she set about the task with all seriousness of a born inventor. She says, I hurt my hands trying to make something that, in my mind, would be good for the door. She says, after that, I dropped it, but I never forgot it. You could say that skill and ingenuity was in Kenner's blood. Her maternal grandmother had invented a tricolor light signal to guide trains, and her sister, Mildred Davidson Austin Smith, grew up to patent her own family board game and sell it commercially. Her preacher father, Sidney Nathaniel Davidson, even made a go of transforming the family hobby into a full-time career. Around 1914, Sidney patented a clothes presser that would fit in a suitcase and press trousers while a traveler was en route to his destination. But he turned down a New York company's $20,000 offer in favor of attempting to manufacture it and sell it himself. The result was a failure. He produced only a single presser, which he sold for the partly sum of $14. So, but he tried though. He tried, and he had the confidence in himself to go about it and do it himself. He failed, but he tried. So, I give him all the credit in the world. There's some other stuff. Let me see if I can get to the points.
Is this what they look like? It was called a sanitary belt.
Yes.
I don't know if you can see this or not. Some of these images.
Yes. Yes. So, okay, I think here comes the juicy part. In 1931, Kitten graduated from high school and earned a place at the prestigious Howard University, but was forced to drop out a year and a half into her course due to financial pressures. She took on odd jobs as babysitting, before landing a position as a federal employee, but she continued tinkering in her spare time. The perennial problem was money. Filing a patent was and is an expensive business. Today, a basic utility patent can cost several $100s. In 1957, Kenner had saved enough money to her first ever patent, a belt for sanitary napkins. It was long before the advent of disposable pads. The women were still using cloth pads and rags during their period. Kenner proposed an adjustable belt with an inbuilt moisture-proof napkin pocket, making it less likely that menstrual blood could leak and stain clothes. She says, one day I was contacted by a company that expressed an interest in marketing my idea. I was so jubilant, she says, I saw a house, cars, and everything about to come my way. The company rep drove to Kenner's house in Washington to meet with their prospective client. Sorry to say, when they found out I was black, their interest dropped. The representative went back to New York and informed me that the company was no longer interested.
Mm-hmm.
And she eventually filed 5 patents in total, more than any other African-American woman in history.
Mm-hmm.
When her sister Mildred developed multiple sclerosis, Kenner patented a serving tray and a soft pocket that could be attached to the frame, allowing Mildred to carry things around with her. She also patented a toilet tissue holder that made sure that the loose end of a roll was always within reach, and a back washer that could be attached to the wall of a shower to help people clean the hard-to-reach parts of the back.
Go ahead, sister.
She never got a college degree, but she was born. Okay, here she says she was never born with a college degree, and she says, I quote, every person is born with a creative mind. Everyone has that ability. So, that is Mary Beatrice Davidson Kenner, the longest name in recorded African American history.
You stupid.
But that sister was on some thorough stuff.
Yes, she was.
5 patents. Never had a college degree.
Dope.
Never finished college. Never had a college degree. Went out and did her own thing. Filed her own patents.
Mm-hmm.
It's in her family. It's in her blood. You could tell. Her grandmother invented the tri-light for the train. Her daddy invented the clothes presser.
It wasn't her blood. She meant to do it.
I bet you if the white people had a soda, I bet you would have popped off.
Mm-hmm. Of course. You think? Of course it would have. Without a shadow of a doubt.
Man, the unsung heroes of history, like I had never heard of the sister before, and she just passed 12 years ago. That's really not that long ago, 2006.
Yeah, she was born in 1912.
Yep, 1912, died in 26.
Mm-hmm.
So you figure 2006 minus 1912. She lived to the ripe old age of 94.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty good.
Yes, it is.
Well, I think that is it for today's episode of the Socially Conscious St. Louis podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening and tuning in. Please make sure you hit that like button, that subscribe, and that share button if you like what you're doing here. If I know you and you would like to be a guest on an episode of the Socially Conscious St. Louis podcast, then you can feel free to hit me up on one of the social medias that I use, The Overweight Lover, on Instagram, David Landrum on Facebook. You can email us at sscstl@gmail.com, or it's podcast, sscstl podcast at gmail. You can write us on the YouTube. Please write your reviews down at the bottom if it's not too much trouble. Thank you for supporting us, for listening to this free, real podcast. Eventually, we'll figure out how to get this on iTunes, but I'm sure it's going to cost me some bread, which I don't have right now. So, till then, we'll keep using YouTube until the internet gets shut down. Becky?
Stupid.
Rebecca
You
Corpus?
use YouTube till the internet gets shut down.
Right. That's right.
You can reach me on Instagram at LadyQ1502 on Instagram. I am also still on Facebook at Arthur R. Quarles, or the RAFG, the series, which, you know what, don't reach me on that because I am actually going to revamp that page. I may be deleting it to revamp it into something else. So I will have the updates eventually. And that's it for me right now.
That's real. That's real. Well, I ain't got too much going on, to be honest with you. I'm waiting on my truck to get out of the shop. I feel like these mugs been playing, and so tomorrow I'm going out there and have a come to Jesus meeting where I'm going to do some ass chewing because it should have been done. It's like a black cloud hanging over my head. I got all of my paperwork. I got my LLC. I'm ready to buy equipment. I've already invested money into getting this truck up and going, so it's not like I could just stop and go buy something else, which I don't have the money to do. And there's nothing wrong with the truck. It just needs to be fixed, and I'm already invested into it. That's like the dark cloud hanging over my head. I'm really kind of salty about that. But like I said, I'm going down there to do some ass chewing tomorrow. So, other than that, I'm just ready to get back out here and do business. Oh, More Lawns LLC official. You can go on Facebook and Instagram, More Lawns St. Louis. That's MOORLAWNSST Lewis on the Facebook and the Instagram. That is my business. And as soon as I get my truck out the shop, I can pretty well be ready to start getting some new equipment and doing business. So that's what I'm working on. So anybody in St. Louis would like to hire me and my company.
Or I'll be in St. Louis in May because I am going to start working on my documentary. I haven't gotten a name for the documentary as of yet. I may call it Black Silence. I don't know. But start a documentary in the black community in regards to talking to different black people and women in regards to silences in about mental abuse, emotional abuse, sexual abuse, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Gotta schedule some meetings with some psychologists and get their opinions and thoughts and stuff like that, and then try to come into my own community, back to my own city, to see if it's gonna be a challenge, but I'm hoping I can get some black people that's gonna talk to me.
I'll talk to you, Becky. You can call. You can call me. Don't ask no questions.
I really want to do this documentary, and I want to present it to the Sundance Film Festival next year for 2019. So I already got this cam recorder, and I got also another camera and tripod kit and all this stuff that that should be here next week. So I'm really excited about it. I'm just hoping that the people will be open to talk to me about it.
Dope.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Dope, man. Don't ask no questions. I say, don't ask. Why come Pastor got a nice house? And why come Pastor got a nice car?
Right.
In the wee hours of the morning, I want you to call me.
You stupid.
Man, I might go home and watch that. I think I still got it. I think I do.
What movie was that again?
That was Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking your juice in the hood.
You talking about want to watch a movie? I have been asleep all day.
Man, that's all I did
And
pretty much.
I need to find something to eat because I haven't eaten anything at all.
Yeah, I do too. I think I might cook. I got some broccoli and some beef polish and some rice and some other stuff. I think I'll make a stir fry. Cook up something.
Yeah, I guess.
I thought it's kind of late, but I was just so tired, man. I ended up doing 17 hours yesterday again. I did another double action trigger, which I didn't plan for. But because my supervisor called me when I was on lunch, I was at McDonald's eating, chilling out. She's like, hey, can you go to Hanley after that? I was like,
Really don't want to.
12? She's like, yeah, 4 to 12. I was like, all right. It was cool. I got through it. I didn't have to do nothing. Sat in the booth all day. Then I caught an Uber home. I'm like, kind of doesn't make any sense for me to catch the Metrolink all the way down to Central West End just so I can catch the bus all the way home. When I could just pay a little $15 to go straight down 70 and be home in like 10 minutes, literally. So that's kind of also what pisses me off because if my truck was going, I would be able to drive home myself. I would just hop on 70 East and shoot to the crib, but they hold me up, so they got me spending extra money that I don't want to spend, and I'm mad. So before I really get too mad and start tearing up stuff and hulking up and turning green and all of that other stuff, I think that we should get out of here. It's been real. It has been real. We'll see you next week. And eventually we're going to have Phoenix on here. I've been in talks with him. This nigga messages be so sporadic.
It's kind of hard to catch up with him.
I will message this nigga today. I won't hear from his ass till next week. So we'll try to get him in here on the Google Hangouts, man. Chop up some old school wrestling stuff. And shoot the breeze, man. Go down memory lane, like many rappers say. You know, probably talk about some good old days. You know, us reminiscing about Job Corps, because, you know, Rebecca is a Job Corps graduate. Yeah. So, you know, we'll probably get on.
Dogged. I got dragged because I came in a Job Corps with my high school diploma already, and niggas was like, why are you here?
Really? I didn't have that problem. Well, I didn't actually.
Why are you here?
I didn't actually have a high school because I was only 17 when I went down there. But I ended up getting my high school and my trade and getting out in a year and 1 month while the rest of them buses was down there for like 3 years.
Yeah, I was in Job Corps for like a year. Like, matter of fact, I left a year to the date that I came.
Wow.
I was only in there for 1 year. Percy was in Job Corps for like 2.5 years.
Yeah.
He was just there, and I'm like, why? Like,
they could have graduated
you
him a long
graduated
time
with
ago.
me. We walked across the stage at the same time. Like, why are you here 2.5 years? But that's just that mentality of not wanting to grow up, not knowing what to do with your life, not knowing what to do. Stuff like
Percy was on some Percy was on his Bruce Leroy stuff. I'm looking for the master.
You stupid.
And because I knew the HBI instructor. And his basically like, you ready to go. Like, you can go whenever you're ready. You're done. You're cool. You cool. You can pass.
A lot of them. Him, Ahmad, Derek, it was a lot of them that was just there and didn't need to be there any longer.
If Milo, the so-called electric plumber, can graduate HBI, then Percy dumbass ought to be able to graduate HBI too. There was literally this white dude, his name was Milo. He said he wanted to be the first electric plumber. Or he wanted to be a electric plumber. Everybody's like, okay, yeah, electricity and water don't mix. Like, this doesn't make sense.
Nigga, you gonna die. You gonna die, sir.
Man, I ain't come to play no games. I came in, handled my business, and I left. So, but that is another discussion for another day when we have Phoenix down here, because then, you know, we could take a trip down memory lane and we could really get into it and start reminiscing. Nigga, we just might spend the whole show signifying about Job Corps Because every day was a new adventure, literally.
I promise you.
There was this one time when, no, I ain't gonna tell that story. There was this one time when old Gail got herpes from slurping up old boy. But we gonna say that story for when Phoenix come down.
I don't know nothing about that.
Ooh, nigga. I'm gonna tell you off the air. Everybody else, you gonna have to catch that episode of the Subconscious St. Louis podcast when we had Phoenix on here, cause that story there, my goodness. But we going on 2.5 hours, y'all. Me and Rebecca gonna continue to talk up this good old game after we get off of here. So we'll holler at you guys next week. Peace.